ready?
All right, here we go.
We're ready. Sit down.
No biggie.
I call to order the regular meeting of the City of Aransas Pass City Council, June 15th, 2020 at 6 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and prayer by Donald Bowles. No, usually you go first.
Father, we just thank you for your blessings, and we just thank you for your protection on our community. We just ask, Lord, that would continue. Protect us from this pandemic that's going around. Lord, we just pray for your wisdom and guidance in this meeting. We pray that you'd bring unity and kindness and respect in a greater measure in our community, and help us just to grow and prosper for all we ask in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Per Aransas Pass ordinance extending a local state of disaster declaration and in compliance with Governor Abbott's directive to reduce the change of COVID-19 transmission, citizens are not allowed to congregate in the council chambers during council meetings. Council meetings are live streamed at http://youtube.com/user/City of Aransas Pass. Public comment shall be made by either 1, posting comment on the YouTube live stream site during the meeting, and comment will be read aloud. 2, submitting an email to the city secretary at aptx.gov and state the respective agenda item. 3, or a comment under the respective agenda item or a comment under the citizens' comments section at least 30 minutes before the start of each meeting of the City Council. Or 3, submitting a written statement and place in the drop box located outside City Hall, 600 West Cleveland, Aransas Pass, Texas, at least 30 minutes before the start of the City Council meeting and mark Council Meeting Comment. Comments will be provided to council prior to voting on the measure for that particular meeting and shall be entered into the record for each meeting. These written comments shall serve as the required public testimony pursuant to Texas Government Code, Section 551.007, and shall constitute a public hearing for purposes of any public hearing requirement under law. We will now go to presentations and proclamations. I don't think we have any, do we? Okay. We'll go to the consent agenda. All of the following items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests. If discussion is desired, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing, 6.1, case number 2006-04. Public hearing on a request for a conditional use permit by Gordon Clark, 555 North Rife Street, for a temporary multiple family dwelling on a single family lot zoned R-7A, single family, 7,000 square feet to live in an RV recreational vehicle with family due to spouse medical hardship.
Yeah, this application was heard by the Planning and Zoning Commission last Monday, and it has to do with Mr. Gordon Clark at 555 North Rife Street. He and his kids have been living in an RV for the past 2 years because his wife has a medical hardship and she's been in and out of hospital. And so code enforcement gave him a citation that it's not permitted to live in an RV. So he had to come to the board, Planning Commission, and apply for a temporary stay till he gets the wife back and get the place permanently. So the board, the Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed the application and digressed on it and concluded, also recommended that they're going to review it at the end of about 6 months to see whether the situation has changed. So, picture.
Right there.
So that's the house, and that's where the RV is showing, where he lives with the 2 kids.
So let me understand, the kids live in the RV or the husband of the
He lives in the RV with the 2 kids. And then the in-law, that is the wife's mother, lives in the main building. Oh, okay. They are here, so
Oh.
if you want more details, they can get it. State your name and address.
My name's Gordon Clark. Currently reside 555 North Rife Street.
and you can't put the RV into a local RV site rather than in a residential neighborhood?
The RV was there from after the storm, and when my wife started having her difficulties, and I had to fly home and get the children back from Child Protective Services, I just started staying there. That way, when she was in and out of the hospital, when she did have her episodes, I could immediately take the children over to the main house and then deal with her.
That's almost 3 years after, coming up on 3 years after Hurricane Harvey, and I understand what you're saying. But it is a residential area, and we are trying very hard to get the RVs back into the RV parks at this point and get the residential areas as residential areas.
I understand. The RV actually belongs to my mother-in-law. So when I do move, I'll be moving to somewhere else. And the RV would be just closed up and left on with the dehumidifiers running.
Anybody have any questions?
In 6 minutes.
I just got here.
Is 6 months gonna be enough time for you?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
With my wife's issues. If she stays on her medication, I think it'll be wonderful, and we'll be out. If she starts to refuse again and starts having her episodes, she may end up back in the hospital rather quickly. And right now, she's presently looking to get out here in the next few days.
And you said you work out of town?
By trade, I'm a sailor. I'm ship's captain. So I had to drop everything, fly 3,000 miles. And when I figured out that she was going to be constantly in and out of the hospital, I left that trade, and I currently work here in town at John's Transmissions.
You said something as far as once, that I think your wife's issues are handled or taken care of, that you're going to leave the RV there? I didn't quite catch what you were going to say. Vacate it and leave it there, or what?
Once everything is settled down, I'll be able to, excuse me, I'll be able to return to work,
Okay.
and I'll be making more than sufficient to get other accommodations.
Okay, but the RV is my question. Will
The
it's-
RV is not my property. It belongs to my mother-in-law. It would be remaining.
But it'll be vacant once you clear out, and then.
Once I clear out, it will be vacant.
All utilities, everything removed from it, so no one can move in there and start living in there?
Well, it's best to keep power to it so you can run dehumidifiers. With the humidity, the algae would soon take over.
Well, you know, can we store our RVs at our homes? Is that?
I think
mean,
that would be.
Can we do that already? Say he wasn't even there. Is it okay for her to store this RV at her home site?
Without a hookup.
Without hookups, it can be stored there. Well,
Where would your wife live
It's
when you go
there
back to
anyway.
work?
Well, if she stays medicated, I'll go back to work and I will, rent a house until I can afford to buy a house.
And she was staying in this RV before she got sick?
No, she was, during the storm, the property we were at was destroyed and she had moved into an apartment actually it was a house in Rockport she was renting out. And when I came home, of course, I wasn't going to be able to maintain that. So I shut it down.
well, if the RV is going to sit there on that piece of property with him in it or without him in it, he might as well stay in it. This is my opinion. I mean,
I don't have any problems. 6 months and let's visit it again in 6 months, see where we are in 6 months. Hopefully things are gonna be going in your favor in 6 months.
I hope so. It's been a long haul.
Well,
Any other comments? Okay. 6.2, consider an act on the request for a conditional use
we need to
permit.
Close the hearing.
Hearing is closed, yes. Consider an act on a request for a conditional use permit by Gordon Clark, 555 North Rife Street, for a temporary multiple-family dwelling on a single-family lot zoned R7A, single-family, 7,000 square feet, to live in an RV, recreational vehicle, with family due to spouse medical hardship. What is the favor of the council?
I make a motion, we approve conditional use permit case number 2006-04.
I'll second.
Was that for 6 months?
It's for 6 months. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll revisit this at 6 months, and let's hope that your wife gets better.
Thank you for your compassion.
Good luck, Mr. Clark.
You be safe. Okay, 6.2, case 200605. We open a public hearing on a rezoning request by Ellis O. Sanchez Pampa at 651 Banty Lane, Farm Lot Number 16, Block 216, 5 acres, Burton and Danforth Subdivision, Aransas County, from AG Agricultural District to MH Manufactured Home District for an RV recreational vehicle park. The hearing is open.
Yeah, this is an application by the applicant, Sanchez Pampa. He wants to put up an RV park shown on the screen. Various departments have reviewed it, and it's okay for him to put up that RV park. However, the zoning is agriculture, so he has to rezone it to MH, that is Manufactured Home District. That will allow the RV park to be in place. And so that is what the application is for. Last week on the 8th, Monday, Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed the application and considered it, and therefore recommended that it should be approved.
Do you know how many RV sites are there now? How many RVs are located there now?
There are about 2 of them close.
The picture shows a lot more than 2.
Can you
Is
go
that-
up, Gary, for another,
Which one?
show us, no, the picture below, right there.
Right.
Oh, well, what am I looking at here? Okay, I've got a picture.
Is Mr. Pampa here, Mr. Sanchez Pampa?
You got a top for you? Okay.
Would
Come
you
on.
step to the mic? How many lots, state your name and address, I'm sorry.
My name is Ernesto Sanchez Garcia. My father is Elis Osvaldo Sanchez Pampa.
How many sites are planned on this site? RV sites?
44?
42.
So there's one across the street already?
There's 2.
Oh, there's 2. So that must be what we have the pictures of.
Ones that
Something
are across the street, where it
street.
says Crooked Oaks RV Park, is that what you're looking at?
Well, I see the sign, Salt Creek RV Park, must be,
I
but
saw
then
Salt Creek, yeah.
but then the next picture shows unimproved roads and that kind of stuff. Gary, can you go down? Yeah, that way. Keep going. Nope, keep going the same way. Next. Oh, well, okay, go the other
No,
way.
you have to go the other way.
Okay. Keep going. Let's keep going. One more. So that picture is across the street?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And your RV park would be on the right side of this, is that what,
In front of it.
in front of it?
Across the street.
Across the
The satellite
street.
picture, it shows it has like a red outline of the property.
Yeah. I have to
Do we
go back
have
to
that
that one.
picture on our?
Yeah, we have the
Yeah.
picture down here.
Okay.
So that would be that. I have a question for Chief Kelly. Have you been out to this
Right
site
there.
yet? Because one of the issues with RV parks has been the distance between the RV parks and the allowance of a fire truck to get through the RV parks, should there be a fire.
Yes, we've reviewed the codes you guys have. You supplied the information to us, and we've made every design of the plan. It has everything in measure, so a fire truck can come in, anything like that. The RVs are spaced correctly.
Okay,
Jumping between the major streets or within the park?
I'm talking all of it. Should there be a fire in the park, the fire trucks need to get into that park and be able to go to the fire and be able to make a turn and put the fire out.
Right.
So
road.
that's been the concern in the past when people have presented an RV park, that they weren't wide enough to have safety, should there be a car parked on the side of the road or anything like that.
Let's
So
see
we-
here, am I seeing correct that the roads are 35 feet
Mhm.
and then the lots are 35 feet?
I must have missed that one.
I don't
The
have
road is
that. For
35.
some reason, it's not coming up on mine.
What are you looking that you saw the 30?
Here
Oh,
somewhere.
I'm back, okay, I'm past that one, okay.
Oh.
Lots are 35 feet.
Oh.
There's a lot of room to get around.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I just had to expand it.
Will there be paved concrete
Yes.
roads and drives?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Concrete road and concrete pads.
Okay, very good. Okay. I have no issue.
What's the time frame on this?
I don't have that.
Like to start
doesn't
or
come up on mine.
to completion?
I'm sorry, please?
Start and completion.
Start first and then completion.
We would like to start as soon as possible, hopefully complete within 6 months to a year.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And are you on septic or city?
Septic.
Septic, that's what I thought.
Yes, on the plan it has the 3 mount systems.
I'm sorry, please say that again?
On the plan it says right there it has 3 mount systems for
Yep.
septic.
That's, I see, a septic mount, okay.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Do we have city water down that way? Where'd everybody go?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, so there is no city water down that way. Yes, sir, Nathan?
There's no fire hydrants, so
Oh, okay.
that would be additional cost.
Oh,
Yeah.
install them. Or
So what's the process of trying to get some fire hydrants, time frame for that, so that they would know what their time frame is?
We have to get the water lines there first. Fernando's back there.
Where's Fernando? You're familiar with this project, Fernando?
Yes, there's no utilities out there.
How far is the closest water tap in?
So this water's on McCampbell and Moore Avenue.
And that's how far away?
That's over a mile away.
Oh, over a mile?
That's quite a bit.
Okay.
So if there is a fire out there, just that, I mean, you know, we're not saying because, you know, how would that be handled? You have to take one of your,
Yeah, I mean, right now, the city currently doesn't have a tanker truck to haul Watch Johnson water. We'd have to rely on other departments to bring that water to us.
So I have a question. How did, what is it, Salt, the other trailer park get approved, Salt Creek RV Park, without fire hydrants or
It
anything?
would've been built
Before it was annexed.
Oh, okay, okay. Wow.
Well.
Most of the RV parks that I've driven through that are out in that area don't leave it.
this would be the
This
first.
is
This would be
new.
the
This
first
would be the
one.
first one.
one.
That would have to be the first one, exactly, with the new
Everything
code.
that's out there was built
Prior to, yes, I understand.
Okay.
But these people are obviously doing the right thing by having it designed and
Mhm.
paved and everything else.
Yeah, but if there's no water and there's a fire,
Well, they'll have to-
Well, that's not.
What about,
I mean, that would be the same thing with the other ones that are out there.
I understand that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Can you come up with like a,
Yep.
what about
I
a storage
gotcha.
tank, like a water storage tank for emergency use?
I don't think that'd be.
That would be feasible?
Because by code, it'd have to be a tank capable of supplying 2 hours worth of water, whatever the fire load rate would be at. You'd have to calculate that out. That, a lot of times turns into like a 60,000 gallon tank. So
Oh, that's a lot, man.
That's a lot of water.
It's not a feasible, it's usually not an economical thing.
I see.
Okay.
Well, I don't believe that we've ever stopped progress or development because there's not city water in a location, so.
But they have to meet city codes. That's the difference.
Well,
as far as
yeah,
I'm
but I think
concerned.
his plan does meet city code. Well, it has to, because now he's got to get the permits to do it, so he's gonna have to meet city codes.
Any more comments?
What's our timeframe on getting the water and stuff out that way?
Fernando,
Oh, where'd it go?
2 questions. What would be the cost estimate? I know that's really on the spot to get the water line out there.
That was one of the ones we submitted under the mitigation stuff, and we're looking at over $1 billion to get water.
And how long does it take? Well, you have all paperwork, of course.
Yes.
But you're looking at least a year, I would assume.
Minimum of a year.
Oh, say, I have a question that may not be appropriate, but did P and Z look at all of the issues and the fact that they don't have city water or anything, or fire hydrants or anything out there before they gave the approval for this?
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they know that area has recently been annexed.
Correct.
And so there's no water and all those services over there. And so those other RV parks that are there.
I'm going to correct that statement. Osei said there's no services over there. That's not true.
Well,
There
we do
are
have
police
services.
services, fire response. I
Right.
mean, we still respond and service the area.
Right.
He's specifically referring to, not generally, he's
Yeah.
talking about the water.
Water.
Yeah.
Water, yeah.
Water
yes.
is what I'm talking
But
about.
those
Right.
kinds
Yes.
of language mistakes can be misinterpreted, and I just want to make sure that it was clarified.
Thank you.
Yeah, water services are not available over there. And so it's similar to when it was at the county level. Those RVs over there parks over there were not having those water service as well. So it's
So will
similar
one,
situation.
how many water wells? Will one water well service 44 RVs? I mean, I don't know. You gotta have a water well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many water wells do you need?
He's got it in his plan.
Is it in the plan?
It's in his plan.
Yeah.
That he's got the, oh no, he's got a septic mound.
No,
I'm
he's got
sorry.
septic.
Yep, he's got septic mounds.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind, that's a newly annexed area.
Right.
And we are required by law to get infrastructure out there. And I think the period we're looking at is 3 years. And the rate study and some very preliminary analysis has been done by Fernando already. I think that was presented during the annexation meeting. So there are plans to bring it out there, but it will not happen overnight.
So once the city does have city water out that direction, will they be obligated to, being a commercial development, will they be obligated to tap into the city water?
It will be available to them, and I'm assuming that they would be obligated to do that, since that's close, but I cannot say that for certain.
Okay.
But it'll be available to them, very
Okay.
close to them.
My biggest awareness is, does the property owner understand that the water lines do not go out there? If he's submitting plans for a septic line, there's
Mhm.
no line out there yet.
Correct.
So how is he, if he thinks he's gonna be open in a year, how does he think he's gonna get water to his customers?
He's gonna,
Septic tank, septic system.
I'm actually talking about, I said both, and thank you for correcting me, but I'm actually meaning both. How does he expect to get water, and how does he expect to have the sewer line?
are you saying when the water gets to there, whether he's gonna switch from the septic to water or?
Or septic to sewer.
Well,
Right.
right now, he would have to have a septic
And a
system
water
Right.
well.
and a water well.
No, we've not looked at that because it's not there yet.
Okay, so you've looked at the plans for the septic tank? that he's
Septic.
going- Have you looked at those plans?
That the septic mostly is the county that deals with the septic, so.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know anything about an RV. I know that you can ride on them and things like that. Don't they carry their own water?
A very small tank.
Oh, yeah, no.
A very small
When
tank.
they come into the
Yes.
RV site, they hook
Yeah,
up to the
they
water
hook up
that's
to
there,
water.
'cause they don't carry enough
They
water.
hook up to water.
So will that be available to them to hook up?
That was
Okay,
my
okay.
question.
Yes, it will be? Okay, okay.
Did you just say how many water wells again? Is it 2? Okay.
Our 2 water wells,
I'm not sure
Be
that.
able-
Enough,
yeah, to feed 42 RVs.
yeah. Fernando talked it over with them and he's satisfied with that.
Okay.
Okay, so
What,
you,
2 water wells for that
Yeah,
project?
provided the depth and the amount of water that they find, it should be sufficient.
wait a minute,
Yeah, it all depends how the wells are designed.
okay. So maybe we should look a little bit more at more direction as to what kind of pumps and everything they're gonna put in before this is approved? I mean, I don't wanna blanketly deny them this, but then again, I don't wanna approve it if it's not gonna be sufficient enough to give water to the 42 RVs that he wants to put in there. And we're not ready to put city water in there, so give us some direction here.
You can approve with the condition that they provide they meet the requirements to provide water for all the RVs, so they can produce that from where we're gonna design their well.
Okay.
That should be sufficient.
Okay.
Okay.
This is just a public hearing on zoning. You're not approving the site plan.
No.
Oh, it's,
Oh.
yeah, we all were, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, then I
Then, there you go.
declare the hearing closed. Consider an act on rezoning request by Ellis O. Sanchez Pompa at 651 Banty Lane, Farm Lot Number 16, Block 216, 5 acres, Burton and Danforth subdivision, Aransas County, from AG Agriculture District to MH Manufactured Home District for an RV recreational vehicle park.
Well, I make a motion that we approve the rezoning request by LSO Sanchez Pompa at 651 Banty Lane, Farm Lot Number 16, Block 216, 5 acres, Burton and Danford subdivision, Aransas County, from AG Agricultural District to MH Manufactured Home District for RV recreational park.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Could you please explain that to the property owners, that this is an approval of the rezoning request, not necessarily approval of the site plan?
I understand that.
Explain
Okay.
why the fire chief has not seen it, because the site plan hasn't been submitted for approval.
Yes, in actual fact, we informed them already that this is a rezoning, but the idea of the board trying to get to know a little bit detail of what that rezoning purpose will be, they will have to provide some plans and schematic plans for them to look at.
Okay.
So
I
they know-
understand that. I
right.
need to make sure that our citizens understand that.
Yes, the applicant knows that.
And I think the questions that were asked by the council just kind of, lets you know what the council is looking for and what are some of the questions that we have as a council.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Item 6.3, case number 2006-06.
Yes.
Public hearing on a rezoning request by Ricardo J. and Nohemi Hernandez at 652 Adolfo Road, Lot 19, Block 218, 5 acres, Burton and Danforth, Aransas Pass, from AG Agriculture District to MH Manufactured Home District.
Yes. This application is similar to the one we just reviewed. The difference is that this applicant wants to put a single family home manufactured structure on that property. Currently, the applicant is not here in attendance. So if we can move on with that, I just want you to know
Oh.
they are not present at the moment.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do you want us to move it to a different date or just
If
go
you
ahead?
don't have any questions that you might want them to answer, we can move forward with it. It's
It's going to be right next door, right across the street from the other one.
not next door.
Well,
This is
pretty close.
Adolfo Road.
Well, yeah, you're right. Okay, the other one was Banty Lane.
Bant Lane, this is Adolfo.
And it's going to be only one manufactured home.
Right.
Any questions?
I know one of the questions as far as within the city of Aransas Pass, in the past, they were just, this is way, way, way before your time, that they were just popping up in everywhere, And one of the things that we had looked at as a council, I think before, maybe Billy was on here on the council, that that we had kind of looked at it, trying to restrict, the manufactured homes coming into the neighborhoods. I just want to make sure that that doesn't happen in the new annex area that we have. All of a sudden, we're having, what's there is already there. There's nothing we can do about that, and we
Right.
understand that. But we just need to be cautious about what we're allowing to go in, because I don't want the same thing to happen, because, as homes were being built within the city that we have now currently, before the annex areas, you would have a really nice home, and then you would have 4 or 5 manufactured homes right next to it that arrived there, because we had no zoning on that. So that's one of the things that I just want to caution for us not to be going that way,
Right.
in that direction. So I don't know how we can kind of look at that, what's there is there, but just going forward, that is just my only concern,
Okay?
If you, can you go to the map? Right. For that area, if you look at the recently annexed areas, that is the one to the left, empty, showing. And we drafted to the right, giving it much more zoning, which is the red, general business zone along I-35. And so that is the proposed rezoning for the newly annexed areas. So to answer your question, that is the projected zone we want to designate for the newly annexed areas. However, due to some sort of litigation with the recently annexed areas, it's been put on hold.
Mm-hmm.
So we've not been able to move forward with that type of zoning. But that is the projected zoning district we want to give to that area.
So you're saying this particular property, where the direction that we want it to go is general business?
Correct,
Okay, where this property is?
correct,
Okay,
And he's trying to rezone it into manufactured home district.
right,
right.
For just one,
right,
for his,
So it's
for them
just,
to live in that home, apparently. Okay.
right.
I can see that it's just one lot, or
But
one-
it's 5
one piece of
acres.
property off
It's
of
5 acres?
35.
5 acres,
It's 5 acres. How many acres between it and 35?
another
like the
5
same.
acres. Yeah,
It looks like about the same, the track
Right.
looks about the same, 5 acres.
Any more questions? I declare the hearing closed. And now we will consider an act on a rezoning request by Ricardo J. and Nohemi Hernandez at 652 Adolfo Road, Lot 19, Block 218, 5 acres, Burton and Danforth, Aransas Pass, from AG Agricultural District to MH Manufactured Home.
Can I ask a question real quick on here? I'm sorry,
Go for it.
just popped in my head, sorry. When they're moving a manufactured home, like this particular case, is there like a age year?
yeah,
that
7
has
years.
to be moved in?
Yeah, 7 years, no,
Okay, because I know as far as condition and things like that, just,
yeah, it shouldn't be 7 years older. New, it has to be new, 7
oh,
years
oh,
old.
okay, so if it's approved,
Mhm.
are they having to come before you what they're actually gonna move in there?
Yes.
Before it's moved in? I don't want us to,
Yes,
for us to get
they need a permit.
what they moved in, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, okay,
Yeah, it has to go through the building division
okay,
for a special permit to move
okay,
a manufactured structure
okay.
to the site, yeah.
And when they move that in, it has to have a septic tank, correct? And a well on property?
Yeah, it has to provide all
That's
of
what I
that.
thought, okay. But it should be changed from agriculture to general business according to our master plan.
That's the projected, if, by the time we get to that, if it's not all zoned manufactured homes.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Can we put this on hold so we can discuss it further?
Table it.
Table it?
Yeah.
I make a motion for us to table it.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now we go to number 7, city manager. 7.1 is consider an act on approving change order number 1 in the amount of $408.56, and change order number 2, no cost to the contract with Gurley Contracting for the Con Brown Harbor Point Park electrical upgrades and lighting replacement project.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem and council members. There are a number of change orders in this particular section. I'm sure the viewership has gone up considerably because they're change orders out of interest. Many of them, several of them will take a fair amount of discussion. And this is something that a fair amount of research work has gone into all of these change orders, which we'll get into. Let's give an overview now. A fair amount of research work and meetings have gone into all these change orders. I decided to put them all under city manager, and we'll be talking about all of them. There may be some specifics, and I may have to call some people in on. This first one, change orders number 1 and 2, out at Harbor Point Park, the electrical work. That's after the work started, found out that photocell batteries, 4 of them were not working. Could not have determined that until the work started. And that's a little over $400 for that particular, $408.56. The second one is a no-cost change order. That's for a 30-day contract extension. So in a nutshell, those are the 2. This is probably one of the more easy ones as far as the upcoming change orders. So that's what's before you at this point.
Okay. Favor of the council?
Well, I'll make a motion, we approve change order number 1 in the amount of $408.56 to Gurley Contracting for the Conbound Harbor Point electrical upgrades and lighting replacement project.
And what about number 2?
What about number 2?
And number 2, the change order, the no-cost change order.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
This next one is complicated. I want to take a few seconds.
Should I read it?
That'll become more complicated if you read it.
Okay.
Let me explain it casually. There have been, I don't know how many darn meetings on this particular issue. What it comes down to is that door right there and the other door is right there. And that particular door there, which is the culprit, so to speak, my words, nobody else's word, it used to go out, open into the hallway. And the designer started working on it and said, that doesn't meet city code, I'm going to move it to where it is now. So we had meetings. Why did we make that change? And the fire department got involved with it. Fire department's here, they may want to comment on that. And in a nutshell, they were saying, look, people come in through that door. If there's a fire, they're going to want to go out that door. So we should be able to open it the way it opened originally, yes. The designer vehemently disagreed with that. He did not want them going into the hallway. He said, these should be your exits. Without going into too much more detail, they both had good points. Both believed in the arguments that they made, and decided to go with the fire marshal, with our people on this, even though they're going into a non-rated hallway. The recommendation, and this started out as like $14,000 change order. It's now down to little under 5,000, with the 3433 being door number 1, which is there. I hope I'm getting them correct. And then the second door number 7, the second fire exit, that was $1,432. So I'm probably oversimplifying it. But we've looked at this thing for weeks. So it's not something that we have let slip by. It's something that's been researched thoroughly, and both sides have some good arguments. This is not a FEMA project. Most of the things we'll be talking about tonight are FEMA projects. Rebuild paid for what we're talking about right now. Rebuild is closed. So this is a cost that we would have to pick up ourselves. Please ask any questions you have, or fire may have some comments, but in a nutshell, that's the issue.
So it's this door here that you would be going into a hallway,
That's the way it used to be, yes. It's gonna go back to that. That's right.
and this door here that would go into a hallway.
That is correct.
It's actually the door on the outside.
Right, and then you go absolutely to the left.
Yes.
Does this door still
So-
go outside?
This can be used also as an exit, yes.
Okay.
So will this door be turned around so you open out? No, you'll
No.
have to open in.
That was strategically put that way because we want that to be your guys' emergency exit if there's a threat in this room, and we want a barrier between y'all exiting and the threat making to y'all.
Okay.
So this is not a FEMA project.
Correct.
And our cost would be $4,865.
For both doors, both, yes.
And the
So-
time frame on this would be what?
I'm sorry.
Time frame to get this done
They're
would
ready
be
to
what?
go now.
Okay.
So, lost my train of thought. So leaving it the way it has been designed and installed now, is that against any codes?
Fire, I think, isn't it?
As far, you mean the way it is right now, the way, as you look at it?
It's already
right-
changed and done right now. We're wanting to do it again. Correct?
According to what L&V says, they designed it that way to meet our codes.
Okay.
But fire has pointed out that safety overrides anything else. Tell me if I'm wrong, where's fire? Overrides anything else. And they say people come in there, that's the way they're gonna wanna go out.
So statistics prove that when a person is unfamiliar with a building, 90% of the time, they will turn around and walk out the same door they came in.
Makes sense.
With this door being open, if it was to be closed and you had to open that door, it's the wrong way. The door always opens into the egress, into the egress path. We've always learned that because if not, people stack up there during a fire and they get pinned up against the door. That's why we requested that door to be turned around the other way, because most of the people that come in this room are not don't spend every day in this building. They don't know that that door's there. Or if I go through that door, it goes outside. That door right there would actually even be worse than this door as an emergency exit. I'm only considering the emergency exits to be the ones with the lights over them anyway. That light's always been there. That's always been an emergency exit. That's not something new. They changed it.
This door goes straight outside, correct?
Straight
It does, yeah.
We take the exit side down, it's a lot cheaper than $5,000.
That's true, but then you don't meet the code on how many occupants you can have in your room. If you take that away as an exit,
Okay.
you automatically make it 49 people in here, including employees.
So just putting red letters on that door in case of fire, exit here, and keep your 2 exit signs?
Okay, so when the smoke is down, banked down, and you can't read those letters, I'm going back out the door, I know where I came in at. It's how the fire code's written, it's written that way for a reason.
I understand. Can we take this out of the fire department's budget?
Oh, well, that will only put me further in the red, so.
Take it out of the police department's budget, they can go get some more drugs.
It's an unfortunate thing. This
Somebody
would
go
be
get a
the
speed
exact
ticket
same
for it.
thing that we would impose on any business that we did work with in the city. We would request the exact same thing.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me because we contractors, whoever built it, followed our codes, and now we're saying, yeah, that's our code, but we're not gonna do it that way.
I don't
That
believe
doesn't
that
make
they were trying to trump fire code. They were using a different code to try to trump fire code. And fire code always wins because that's life safety. So for whatever reason that they felt like that door should open in, that's why
Okay.
we feel we're wrong. That's why they feel they're right. But
Chief, what about their argument of keeping them out of that hallway during a fire?
so, I mean, I think that they said, well, it's a non-rated hallway. So what that means is that there's no fire resistance rating for that hallway. This is true because there's nothing above the ceiling. There is sheetrock. As you can see, there is no combustibles all the way down that hallway. You can look down there like I can. There's nothing in the hallway that's combustible. If
Just
they were to-
Jeff.
If they were to have a fire, I mean, that's a straight shot out if that's the way they came in. Now, of course, if fire was to get in here, thank God we have a second exit, which is what we asked for.
So, as
I
you
just
can
don't see the
see,
point.
all sides, in my opinion, make some good arguments here. Hence, the reason I'm suggesting that we pick this up, because the chief has some excellent arguments.
Public safety trumps everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
That's always the winning argument.
Yes, and both think they're looking at safety too. So I just want to make that point. We've gone through, I don't know how many meetings, and everybody makes good arguments here. So this is an especially tough change order to address. But this is the best that I could come up with, and I'm the one who eventually made this decision to go with the police, or the fire department in this particular case.
You know, that's not a hardened hallway, like you said, but what's the first door on the right? It has all the electrical and everything else, so if something's gonna catch on fire, it's gonna be in that room there, my opinion. So you definitely don't want people running down that hallway.
Well, I mean, most of these doors either stay closed
Okay.
during the electrical room should always be closed. I'm not sure, are you talking about where IT guy sits?
Yeah, the one next.
This one here? I mean, electrical room should always be closed. It shouldn't
Okay.
be open to the public anytime.
Okay.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve change order number 3 with D&SS Construction in the amount of $4,865 for the City Hall Police Department hardening project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No,
No.
sorry. I love you, but, my opinion is no. So, there you go.
7-3, you wanna take it away, Gary?
Yes. I think this is the right one. Consider enacting a change order number 5 in the amount of $14,000 with RGO Roofing for the roof replacement of City Hall, Municipal Court, Police and Fire. This is addressing a term I'd not heard before, but everybody else in the room has probably heard, and that's the metal coping issue. This was requested by city staff. Essentially, this was not part of the original scope of work. However, staff agreed it's something we should do. This is a FEMA project, and we anticipate it'll be covered by FEMA consequently. It will prevent recently located leaking in the fire department and provide a more uniform rain protection throughout the building. Again, this was staff suggested, and it's something that is a FEMA project.
So our hard cost would be?
Our hard cost would be 10% of $14,000,
Yeah.
which would be about $1,400.
1,400. Okay.
So the roofing company didn't catch this, or I knew that was something that should have been done?
I'll need some help on this, if it should have been caught by somebody else. I understand once the work started, then it was clear that we should be taking advantage of them being here to address an old problem, I guess. But keep
Yeah.
in mind, if they had found it, we've been paying for it through the original contract too, so either
We'd
way.
still be paying the $1,479.
Yeah, while doing inspections out there with the contractor, the old part of the building doesn't have any of the coping. All the new part of the building is covered under that. And this would help because you have CMU wall that absorbs a lot of that moisture, and that's where you have a lot of leakage into the fire department. By putting that metal coping and the sheet on the inside, tying into the roof, you get a secure roofing on the old part of the building, and that wasn't part of the original plans, but
Okay.
while doing all the work up there, it is covered by FEMA. Might as well fix that and alleviate any further issues that might come up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions?
Nope.
Pleasure of the council.
I'll make a motion, we approve change order number 5 in the amount of $14,795 with RGO Roofing for the roof replacement at City Hall, Municipal Court, Police, and Fire Department buildings.
All in favor?
Aye. 22nd?
Oh, I'm I'm sorry, second?
I'll second.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
Next one.
Good catch.
Also dealing with RGO and to provide materials and labor to add decking in areas where decking was deteriorated. The deterioration was found after the work started, and they're also asking for 5 calendar days to add to the contract for extension of this work. And I believe there was a map in there in your packet related to where these particular areas are. It was pointed out that deterioration was not found until construction started. LMV pointed that out, that it would be advisable to address this deterioration while workers are on site. And this is a FEMA project also.
Okay, we're on number. Make a motion that we approve change order number 6 for the amount of $9,120 with RGO Roofing and Construction for the roof replacement and repairs at City Hall, Municipal Court, Police Department, and Fire Department for the additional metal decking. Is that where we're decking? Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is a FEMA project?
Yes, it is, yes.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I guess.
It's only 10%.
Okay, there is no agenda memo with this. There is a letter of recommendation. This is, we opened bids. We had a large number of bidders for the Harbor Master Building. And the letter of recommendation is to go with the low bid of $697,672, and with the deduct and the amount, with an amount added also for a storage area above, and the deduct related to the parking lot, it comes down to $654,224.72. So that's what's before you. If you wish to go with the recommendation of the low bid for the Harbor Master building, this is a FEMA project, and we struggled with FEMA for months over this issue, over many different issues, over many different aspects of this. But it's now ready to move forward if you agree.
So what will the city's part be in this?
10% of 654.
10% of $700,000, so we're talking $70,000.
Okay. I know that, I just wanted everybody else to hear that. It's important to keep everybody
That's
informed.
right.
That's correct. Sandra pointed out that these 10% I'm referring to, in each case, the state is going to cover 75% of that, so it's even less for our share than the cold number of 10%. Thank you.
Wow, well, thank you very much for that info, Sandra.
Now, we have everything in place as far as this contractor, right? All the bonds and everything else?
Yes,
Okay.
that's been reviewed.
Okay.
That is correct.
Yeah, let's not miss that one. What's the favor of the council?
Well, I make a motion, we award contract for the new Harbor Master Building to Dunn Services, Inc. in the amount of $654,224.72.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item, under city manager, the construction management services contract for construction management. You'll recall this issue has been discussed. This is related to Con Brown, and been looking and came up with a company to help us with the management. Went out to RFQ, got one proposal in, way too high, and Fernando and I sat down with that one company and negotiated down substantially, like 200% or something like that. It was substantial.
Yeah,
And they want to come here. They're hoping we'll start doing business with them, this particular company, as all companies do. It's not just unique to them. They would like to see that. So they've come down considerably in price. Today was his first day on the job. We have to move forward because the project is going on right now.
Yeah.
It is a price that, and Fernando and I talked with an individual, and that individual's price, who is considering it and then had to take another job, is very close to what that individual was. So it's a very reasonable price, and they're on the job as of today, so, unless you kick them out.
So that took a lot off of your plate, because you were gonna start as the project manager until we found somebody, so that's good. So, favor of the council.
I'll make a motion that we approve, well, I was looking for the name of them. Is it AGCM
Mhm.
Incorporated for the Con Brown Harbor Road Construction Project for management services for the project, in the amount of $100,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, this has come up before, and it's an ordinance extending the health emergency, 30 more days that we're under at this point, so it's up to you if you wish to continue. Staff recommends continuation, if you agree.
And we're just gonna continue to follow
Yes.
the governor, okay?
Yes.
Favor of the council?
I'll make a motion, we approve ordinance number 2020-4310, extending the local state disaster declaration.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on this next one, we are suggesting that you eliminate the waiving of fees beginning in June 30th, when I notify people, that gives us time to notify people. The fees that, the waivers that you approved some time ago when all this started, we're ready to move out of that, if you agree, beginning June 30th. Anything to add to that?
Just that June 30th would be our last day. We're gonna start notifying people, we're gonna put an ad in the paper and, getting the word out on Facebook, letting them know that we're gonna start the process back up here, of charging them the late fees, disconnect fees, and getting them back, and getting them in the office to make payment arrangements.
So, administering all these fees and things would come into play on their July bill,
As of July 1.
as of,
Okay, no, we're not gonna assess, fees. The fees will take effect, like, once we lift it, on June 30th will be our last day. And then, we're gonna, assess fees for anybody that hasn't paid on July 15th. So
Okay.
on July 16th, if you haven't paid, you're gonna get a late charge. And then we're not gonna necessarily start disconnecting this July, the month of July. We will start leaving door knockers
Okay.
on people's doors to get them in here. A lot of people are facing financial hardships still because of the crisis and the pandemic. So we're gonna start leaving door knockers to try to get people in, to make a payment arrangement. If they can pay $10, $20, whatever it is, staff is going to work with the customer to get them current and help them get back. And we're looking at organizations that still have money out there, that may have resources that may be able to help our residents. We're gonna try to get as much of that information handy so that we can have that readily available for them once they do come in the door asking for that.
I have a question. Do you have an
Yes.
idea how many have?
Right now on our disconnect list, it is averaging about maybe 300 to 350. When
Oh,
we were
wow.
averaging about 100, 150 customers a month. So we haven't exceeded that number. We didn't go beyond the 350. So we are still at around 320, 325, a number per month of customers that are on the list for disconnect. So that list is run on the 26th of every month to see who hasn't paid, and that's the last day, and we'll start disconnecting. So it's grown considerably. That's why I'm not saying that we're gonna disconnect in July, because I want to give people time to say, hey, let me go in there and make a payment arrangement. And maybe they don't know that they can come in and make an arrangement with us. And we want to give them that opportunity before all these fees and everything start piling up on their account.
Okay, so what you're talking about as far as the late fees, that's starting from, say, July 30th going forward, when is that late fee gonna get? You're not gonna go to the, like, to March or April, right, to start
No,
charging?
no.
You're gonna be
It's,
going
we're
on
not
the
gonna go
current month.
retroactive, no.
Okay.
Whatever happened in the past that didn't get applied, didn't get applied. We're
Okay.
not retroactively applying all those late fees or anything like that. We're gonna run a report on July 16th and say, who hasn't given their payment for the month? You're gonna get your late fee for the month. We're not gonna go back and say, oh, you didn't give your payment all these 3 months, we're gonna charge you 3 months worth of late fees. None of that's gonna happen, unless that's what you all want, but I didn't think that's what the council wanted.
That's not what we voted on.
Bite your tongue.
But they're having to, pay the current month and make arrangements for what's past due.
For past due
Okay,
amount.
just make sure, make that
Yes.
clear, okay.
Yes, they have to pay the current, and then we'll work with them on the past due on
Okay.
whatever they can give.
Okay.
But they do have to work, and we may even make arrangements for the current, it just depends on their financial situation. It's gonna be on a case-by-case basis.
Just
You know,
making
to be
sure on
honest
that,
with you,
yes.
because there may be households that both people are unemployed and, you know, are barely having enough to buy the groceries. So we're gonna have to take that on a case-by-case basis. But we try to get them to pay the current, and then we'll just, you know, make a payment arrangement for the past due. And that way, once you do a payment arrangement, it avoids you getting all the late fees. It avoids you getting all the disconnect notices and all of that. So once you get on a payment arrangement, it behooves the customer to do that.
Okay, how long are you going to give customers, residents to come in and make arrangements for what's due in the past?
In the past,
Payment arrangements,
We're
you're gonna give
gonna-
them 2 or 3 months, 4 months, or how long?
no, we're gonna, with the action you all are taking tonight, I'm hoping to get an ad in the paper next week and get one going every week and say, we'll give them, that gives us 30 days until July 15th for them to come in and make a payment arrangement.
I
Okay,
understand that.
so that-
But do
Oh,
we-
no, for them to pay for the back, okay, if you come in and you owe whatever it is your amount you owe, we like to give our customers 12 to 24 months at most, depending on the balance and the financial circumstances to pay off their past due. Is that what you're asking?
Now, if I owe 4 months back pay because I
Uh-huh.
was laid off, and I pay my July bill,
Yes.
how much time are you going to
From-
give me to come in to make arrangements for what's due in the past before you start charging me? Are you gonna give me till November, December, October? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, so what you'll come in and we'll ask you, the very first thing is, how much can you afford to give a month besides your regular normal bill? And that will dictate how long the period of time that the payment arrangement is gonna be. So if you come in tomorrow and you say, I can only afford to give you $20 a month and you owe $400, we're gonna divide that. Hopefully it doesn't go beyond the 24 months. And as long as you're current and you pay your bill plus the payment arrangement, you will not have a problem. So we're gonna give customers until July the 15th to come in and set up a payment arrangement so that they can avoid the late fees on July 16th. And the payment arrangement can go from 12 to 24 months. And if they need more than that kind of a time frame, then we'll look at the situation on a case basis. I don't know if that answers your question more or less.
More or less.
More or less, sorry about that. But that's, usually we try to get them to come in. We're gonna put door knockers, we're gonna get them to come in so that we can set up that arrangement. If they can't give me anything there to pay the back pay, then when can you come in and give me that payment? You know, we're gonna also work with the customer, because we don't know what their financial circumstances are right now, what they're facing.
I think the biggest thing facing y'all right now is just communication.
Correct.
And letting them know that it's to their advantage to be coming in here and making some sort of arrangement.
Yes.
So that they don't
Avoid.
acquire late
Yes,
fees.
the late fees and
Because all they gotta do is come in and talk to you.
That is
settle
exactly
their-
right.
come up with some kind of arrangement.
Yes,
And they
ma'am.
will not ever have to pay a late fee.
Correct,
Ever.
that is correct.
Unless they're late.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run some ads in the paper, you know, hopefully, I don't know if people still use the paper. We're gonna push,
Is there anything that you can put on the water bill?
yes, we are gonna
Okay,
do
I
an
think-
insert
I
on the
think
water
if you-
bill.
I think water bill is better than newspaper.
Okay.
I'm thinking, because
Yes.
they're all gonna get a water bill, and they're gonna be able to read it. English and Spanish
Yes.
would be strongly recommended for
Okay.
you to put on there, July 15th, please come by.
All right.
And have a plan ready if someone does not come in July 15th. You know,
Yes.
there might be somewhere else.
Yeah, and that's what we're
I
gonna
just
start
wanna make
doing the
sure.
door knockers also.
Okay.
We're not gonna right off the bat disconnect anybody,
No,
because
thank
we're
you.
still in this
Okay.
pandemic and everything, but we are gonna get the word out with social media, an insert in our water bills, and we're just gonna put signs up and start telling people as they're coming in, and maybe, letting them know that this is gonna happen, that we're gonna start to work with customers, that wanna come in and do a payment arrangement for us.
And I would recommend if someone still doesn't come in, you've done all of this, they drop the payments at the box, I would say pick up the phone and call.
Yeah, and we're gonna put something at the box also.
Pick up the phone and call.
Yeah, so we will pick up the phone.
I just want to make sure that we give our residents
Yes.
plenty of time and not start charging them. That's just my concern.
Okay, we
That's
will,
my
we will.
concern.
And if we've charged them and we can work something out, those charges can always be reversed. So they're not always set in stone, okay?
Okay.
All right, just peace of mind. If there is by any chance, and they have a valid, legitimate reason why they were not here, not able to come by the July 15th deadline, they were in the hospital, they were out of town, those are very valid, and we can always just reverse those charges on the account. That shouldn't be a problem. Any other questions?
Good.
Okay.
What's the favor of the council?
Make a motion, we approve ordinance number 2020-4311, waiving all late fees, disconnection fees, and administrative fees and convenience fees until 11:59 p.m. on June 30, 2020.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this is sort of an emergency matter.
The rain this
And
morning?
as was brought to light during recent rains, and it resulted in meetings with Sandra, Fernando, myself, and others. And we decided we need to move forward with, by strengthening our pump situation. So Fernando, I'm gonna turn it over to you to take it from here, and I don't know if you wanna introduce anybody, or?
So what you have before you is for us to purchase 2 additional 10-inch pumps with dual suction. Right now, we're currently having issues with pump station number 3, which is on Euclid. We've gone through emergency procurement for some repairs out there that have to be done to the levee and to analyze our pump station as well. This is a temporary assist to the cities. With this last rain, it was hard to keep up because we're having issues with those pumps, and we had to bring these in as rentals. It is more convenient to purchase than to rent, because in the long run, we're gonna pay more in renting fees than we would just outright purchasing them. The vendor who we're purchasing these from is here for if you have any technical questions on them. But the city recommends moving forward with this. Just, we're entering hurricane season right now, and we're kind of handicapped right now at that pump station, and we need these so we can be prepared for any rain that might come, because 3 inches of rain will flood us pretty quick here.
What is the company?
These are coming from Godwin?
Godwin?
Godwin? Godwin or Odessa?
Odessa.
He used to work with Godwin, he now with Odessa. So
Okay.
Odessa pumps, yes.
Okay. All right.
Now, guarantee that these are gonna work for how long? Just a question.
We've had some of our pumps since 2006 that are still running out there.
Okay, 'cause
Those portable pumps that run on diesel are very efficient and,
And how much are these pumps?
That's what my question was gonna be.
What's
I don't know
the
off
big
the top of my
question?
head.
66,000 apiece.
Yeah, around 66,000 apiece.
66,000 apiece. Okay. And where's this money coming from? Is there?
We're gonna be doing a capital lease purchase, that's also part of the motion, the financing part of it.
Mhm.
Is.
It's 29,000 a year?
Yes, it would be an annual payment of $29,162.72 per year. It won't start until next year, after we do the closing documents. That a year from that date will be our first payment. So we will be able to go ahead and put this in next year's budget, but be able to use the pumps right now. The pumps cost $5,000 a week to rent. So the purchase of the pumps is $132. It's gonna take over a year to do the repairs on that lift station, so you're looking at more than twice the amount to rent them. So purchasing the.
When you look, weighing the two, it's best,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So roughly breaking that down though, it pretty much comes out to about $2,500 a month. Cause I know
Yeah.
some people are gonna freak out thinking 30,000 a year, but when you break it down to $2,500 a month.
Yeah, it'll be an annual payment, but yes, if you break
Yes.
it down like that, yes.
Okay. Certainly something we gotta have.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially in that area right there.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yep.
The favor of the council?
Make motion that we approve, resolution number 2020-943, approving a financing agreement for the purpose of procuring pumps and related equipment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 7X, monthly municipal court report. We have the written report. She's given it to us, so.
As you do with all
Yeah.
of the departments, they're
Yep.
all written and submitted already.
Yep. Okay, so that's 8, and that's 9. So the next thing on our list will be,
Recognition.
Announcement.
Announcement, city council.
yeah, I think so.
Back to you.
Want to point out that, and give credit to the Lions Club. They did paid-for a fair amount of work, which helped us with state parks at the restroom, making it ADA compliant as far as the water fountain goes, and earthwork related to that. Lions Club was very helpful with that, and other items also, but this was the most recent gift to us, grant to us from the Aransas Pass Lions Club, and we're very thankful for that. The next item is a reminder, the annual budget workshop meeting is this week, June 18th. We start at 8 or 8:30, I've forgotten which.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, okay. Last item is, we had a citywide cleanup this couple weekends, not this past weekend, the weekend before that, and it was very successful. And here to talk about it is your friend and mine, Corey.
Come on down, Corey.
He's right there.
Oh, there he is. He is anxious. He is anxiously wanting to report to you on what came out of that cleanup, and it was very successful. Several of you were in attendance, members of the public, and it was a good event.
It's a very good event.
No boo-boo system?
I mean, Mr. Ellis and the mayor didn't pick up any brush, so that's a huge plus. We filled up 6 50-yard roll-off dumpsters in 4 hours. We had a lot of people showing up. The majority of the council was there, which was greatly appreciated. The city manager, a lot of residents showed up out there, helped out as well. So it was very successful. Hope to have something like that again with the flats very soon. Then one thing I am working on, I don't know if you recall, a couple years ago we did a tire take back. We partnered with Firestone and Bridgestone. Before COVID-19, I stopped by some businesses to ask for a donation to help sponsor the event. Really haven't heard anything about that back yet, so I'm going to go back around and reach out to them again. Liberty Tires out of San Antonio, they're estimating the event for them to come down and get 8 tons of tires is roughly about $3,500 plus a 10% fuel surcharge. Spit it out. So I'm hoping to get that going pretty soon as well. I know our residents they're calling me daily about these tires that's just sitting around town. It's attributing to the rodents, snakes, it's even fire hazards. If, Lord forbid, if something caught on fire, those tires put off so many hazardous fumes. So that's something we're going to be reaching out again. If you guys want to, I'll get you guys copies of this as well. It's just a little example flyer I'm going to have out to the businesses and for the residents as well. So that's a few things that we're working on, and clean up on the flats, and then doing this tire take-back event coming up hopefully very soon.
Did you say you had a date for the flats?
The flats, I'm hoping to do it before the end of the month. I know we try to do a cleanup out there before Fourth of July. And other things that we have issues with is the fireworks out there. I mean, we do a cleanup and then we have all the fireworks out. The PD does a really great job about their officers handing out trash bags and stuff out there along the flats, along with the fire department as well, to try to keep those in certain areas that get collected. So we're going to have quite a bit more few cleanups coming up that try to get this town cleaned up a little bit better.
People notice.
Yeah,
So-
oh, absolutely.
People notice, and you did a great job in organizing this last one.
We're slowly getting there.
You really did.
I've noticed, for it's taking a little bit longer to go find the trash heaps around town. Used to be, you just drive anywhere and you could
Yeah.
fill those dumpsters.
They're
in a
slowly
hurry.
getting cleaned up.
The last couple of times, going, man, we're having to drive a little bit more to find stuff.
Yeah.
But
So it's slowly working
big
out.
improvement, yeah, things are getting
People are
better.
taking a little bit more responsibility.
That's good.
And of course, as part of our citywide cleanup, Corey is definitely an important member of our city demolition team, and our
He's the
city
man.
demolition team is in full swing. We began again today with meetings with property owners. So yes, let it be known, we are back in full action.
Yay,
Have mercy.
good. All right,
Sounds good.
thank you.
Okay.
Good job,
Thank
Corey.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, number 14, citizen comments. Citizen comments are intended for matters that are not scheduled on the agenda. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes and state your name and address for the record. Be advised that the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the city council from responding and discussing your comments. The law authorizes the following: make a statement of factual information, recite existing policy, advise that the subject may be placed on an agenda for subsequent meeting. Anybody want to speak? Well, then we're going to retire to executive session, number 15. 15.1 is section 551.071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act to meet with its attorney to seek legal advice on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the city council under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meeting Act, section 551.072, deliberations regarding real estate property, and section 551.087, deliberations regarding economic development negotiations related to city-owned property, commonly known as LWR property on Ransom Road, Ransom Island, also known as Nueces County Appraisal District Number 38031. 15.2 is section 551.071 of the Texas Open Meeting Act to meet with its attorney to seek legal advice on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the city council under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meetings Act relating to: number 1, bleacher project contract with Division 16 and contracted with DGJD Incorporated. Number 2, update and discuss San Patricio County Economic Development Corporation. 15.3, section 551.072, deliberations regarding real property related to property located at 221 South Commercial, lots 4 through 8 and 2332 through 32, block 549, Aransas Pass Town Site, San Patricio County. We will then reconvene in open session to consider and take action, if any, on any items discussed in executive session. ready?
I wanna make sure.
Streaking.
Okay.
You probably had to wake him up.
Wake up, Seth.
Hello? He's gonna come out with his fuzzy slippers on.
We reconvene in open session to consider and take action, if any, on any item discussed in executive session, and it's 9:12.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the settlement agreement in the amount of $22,000 with DGJD Inc., a subcontractor of Division 16 Construction for the Ball Field Bleacher Project 2019.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay, no further action. I make a motion, we adjourn this meeting.
I'll second.
Wait a minute, I thought it was to allow
No.
them
Negotiate,
to
continue.
negotiate.
We don't
No,
need,
okay.
no,
Okay.
we don't need a motion.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn?
See?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.